This week's been a mess for Peachtober. It's Thursday today. I should be uploading my video today. I still have like 2 more drawings to do, and then I have to edit this video, and I've hit a wall. I'm struggling now. The first 2 weeks were really easy. I just felt like I was on a good roll. I was pumping them out, no problem. Weekend was a bit hectic, so I didn't get to do much drawing, and as soon as I was behind, as soon as I had like 2 days without drawing, it's become really difficult to catch back up, and I'm doing like multiple drawings a day, which means I'm not particularly happy with what I'm drawing because I just need to get back on track with it, and I am struggling.
A little cry from a big baby.
Well, it's week 3 of Peachtober, and this week was a doozy. We started off with weather as the prompt, and this one, the idea came to me pretty fast. I knew I wanted to do something a bit more than just like a sunny day or a rainy day. It also felt like I hadn't done a full body character in a while, so I was eager to do that as well. So yeah, when I thought of weather and I knew I wanted to do a character, this kind of weather witch came to me quite quickly. It's not particularly original, but I had a fun time drawing it, and I liked to do the little whooshing of wind and leaves around her. I thought that added a really cute dimension. The costume, as I was drawing it, I remember thinking like, I should look up some reference. I should do something a bit more different with the costume. Like, this is such a basic go-to for a little witch character with the puffy sleeves and the big skirt and the classic witch hat. So it did feel from the jump that it was a little phoned in the sense of I usually like to use these prompts to stretch myself a bit more, and this one I really didn't. Like, I was so in my comfort zone. And, you know, that's kind of what the result looks like. It looks like I like it still, but it's definitely not one of those pieces that I finish and feel really excited about or really eager to share it, but that's all right. I'd like to get to the stage with my sketching that I can basically adapt the sketch into the final line work, so I don't spend more time re-going over the sketch and, you know, fixing things that could potentially, if I just spend a bit more time in the initial sketch, I'd be able to get them down. And I also like the movement and the flow that you get in your initial sketch. So I've been watching a lot of artists that use their first layer as their final line work layer by just after you've created the sketch that you're happy with, erase different little lines and leave the rest as the final line work. Because as you can see, once I take away the layer that had the sketch on it, it is very clean, but I don't really like it. It feels a lot more stiff and a lot more lifeless than when I had the sketchy lines still visible. So that's something that I want to work on more, and I didn't really do much of this week. I also feel like it would be a good skill to have, especially when doing comic book illustrations, because it just speeds up the process so much more instead of doing thumbnails and then really rough sketch and then a cleanup of that sketch but still trying to keep the essence of that sketchy feeling. I just prefer a slightly more messier drawing, I think. It just feels like it's got more life to me. So in short, that's what I want to start doing more of. But this is such a habit to do the sketch and then the clean lines, so it's going to take a bit of practice, but I think it's definitely worth pursuing because in the long run it's going to make my process a lot faster. But I think she turned out cute, so not too bad. This prompt, this is when things started going downhill. It was late night drawings to try catch up and keep up to date, and on top of that I really like the sketch work for this drawing, and I really liked the concept. And then I also liked the background because it wasn't just a basic plain color that I've been doing for some of them, just to kind of wrap it up and have a finished piece. But the issue I had with this one is actually the baby. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know why my style changed so significantly from the boy to the baby. I really like how I did the boy, and then the baby to me, I think I was looking at references that were too Disney or too Pixar-y, I'm not sure, but the baby, I don't like the baby, and I don't think the baby fits in with the overall piece, so it just kind of makes me cringe when I look at the full piece. I like cropping it so that it's just the boy fishing, but the whole thing, no. Blush, this one actually turned out really well, and I like this one, but I'm not gonna lie, this was another piece that I think I was 4 or 5 days behind at this point, so I just needed a quick win, and a little snake, all in basically one color, that was gonna do the job. And I actually really like this one, so it was nice to have a piece that I came away with feeling really good about. The next prompt, Snooze. This one, because I ended the blush prompt on a high of really enjoying the process and liking what I drew, I feel like that really bled into this one. Like, I really had the concept down quite quickly, and then I really liked the simplicity of the piece, but also it had a lot of character, and the color scheme worked really well, I thought. And I was drawing through the day, I was feeling good about it. There are a few anatomy things that I would have changed if I was going to work on it longer, but I think that this one creates such a vibe. Then candle. I didn't want to draw a candle, so I drew matches instead. And at first I really liked how this one was going, and then I think I just took a few too many shortcuts, and it just took the edge off the final result a bit too much for my liking. So it was nice to do something different, like a little inanimate object was fun, and I liked the color style, but we're on the down slope now. This prompt was where the nightmare truly began for me. I started this one and it was going well, and then instantly I realized I had bitten off more than I could chew. I'm not good enough with dramatic lighting yet, and so it became a real slog very quickly, and I hated what I was looking at. So basically I scrapped this one. I never posted it, so I redrew a picture for this prompt.
I just made lunch, cleaned up, time to go sit down, finish this drawing, and then start editing.
So I decided to do a similar thing to the first attempt, but I peeled it back by making it more simplistic, less reliant on being able to color it well. So I went for just a room with a glitchy bulb, and as I was drawing it and thinking about it, I thought that it could be a nice in-between, like little middle ground to do a light that would turn on and glow and light up different parts of the room, but not be the sole focus of how the light falls on someone, and especially how it lights up a face, and very dramatic. Like, I just don't have the technical skill for that to be busting that out in one day. Like, that's clearly a study I need to do and upskill on, and it is not something that I'm going to spend more hours than I need to for PEACHTOBER on. So unfortunately the first one is scrapped, and I put it in just to show that it doesn't always work out how you think, and the final piece that you've spent hours on might never see the light of day, and you have to reconceptualize the whole thing. I also knew that a little touch of animation would zhuzh up this piece a bit more and make it feel a bit like a lot more work had gone into it than it had, but realistically this one was rushed out in the afternoon because I knew I still had to draw another picture in the evening before I could start editing my video, and I was already behind on the upload. So, you know, I like the final piece because I like how simple it is and how glowy it gets when the light goes on and off. It's just kind of satisfying, but sadly it was just another phoned in piece. And because of the week we were dealing with, we couldn't even end on a high. I've been so pressed for time this week. I'm still 4 drawings behind the actual day I should be drawing each prompt. And so that, on top of needing to get things finished to just have 7 new pictures to put out a video with, we were struggling. There was such a time crunch, I couldn't think of anything to draw. I started doodling, and this little bear was what I came up with, and usually I like to think on it a bit more, maybe try some other options, or, you know, if it feels a bit too simple and that's not really what I want to go for, I will redraw, but no time. So this little bear is the picture for Slingshot, and even the colouring is so haphazard. I didn't test myself on anything, I didn't try anything new. It was very straightforward, I just need to get this done. And although it's kind of cute and kind of, I don't know, like picture book illustration-y, I'm not particularly proud of it, but you know, we're done. That's 7 new drawings, we're moving on. We're taking it as a win, and we're hoping for better next week. The 3rd week is over, and that's the most positive thing I can say about it. Not terribly mad at all these, but not my favourite. Tune in for next week. Hope it's better. Thanks, guys. Bye.